Let's do it.
All
Okay, good
right.
morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. So you know what? These days that is more than the normal day, I feel like.
Yeah. So we're what? We're into quarantine week like 4 or 5?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
even know.
yeah. What are we in
And
for? Yeah.
I love that we both showed up with like makeup and our hair did. We're like, it's time.
It is. And ever since that stupid allergy attack, my face just like my eyelids just crumble, and so I can't really do a whole lot makeup wise,
Yeah.
but I'm
That
trying.
sucks. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, the trees started flowering this week, and that's what really gets me. I
Yeah.
feel like I've just got like grit in my eyeballs constantly.
Yep, nonstop. I know I actually put my contacts in today for the first time in a while.
Oh, nice.
I usually just been having my glasses on because, well, again, the stupid allergy thing, but in the
Mhm.
springtime, my eyes just itch so bad all the time. And right now it's like, don't touch your face, don't touch your face, don't touch your face. But for an allergy person, that's damn near impossible.
Oh, and can we just talk about like how I'm afraid to be outside at all around other people because I am sneezing and I am coughing?
And then you get that like devil die stare, and you're like, dude, it's allergies,
I'm
back
like,
off.
I promise it's just allergies. Like everything is itchy. It's fine.
It's horrible.
Because like I haven't been going out in public, but like we'll walk our dogs, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
there'll be a person down the block and I'm like, "Achoo!" And then they like divert completely.
Which, I don't blame them because it's like, you don't know me. You don't know that I have allergies. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
okay.
true.
But anyways, what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking the same old, but I have this cool mug, my
Oh,
Yosemite
yeah,
mug.
yeah.
So I've been really missing my national parks because I'm a
Oh,
national parks girl. I'm just a
yeah,
nature
girl.
girl. I like
Yeah.
I like all of the nature, and this was a really fun trip that we did, and so it's kind of fun to like think about that. And this morning, Zion National Park actually broadcasted the sunrise live
Oh,
on their
that's cool.
Facebook.
I didn't
So
see
you
that.
could like sip on your coffee and watch the sunrise over Zion. So I love what they're all doing to kind of like make it like you can still be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully
Earlier,
does that as well.
oh, cool,
Yeah, they do
cool.
like field trips every day, so we watch those. Those are kind
Mm.
of fun. Yeah.
I saw the cutest thing. This park ranger in Yellowstone earlier this week went live with his cute little guitar, and he's just like
Oh,
standing out on the road in the middle of Yellowstone, and he's like singing a song about the history of Yellowstone. And I was like,
that's funny.
this is awesome. Like,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was like going through the history and like the different things, and I was like, this is great. I love that they're doing these things. They
I
probably are
know.
nice to have. They probably think it's nice to have a break from all the people, but
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, all of the national parks not getting trampled on by tourists
yeah.
nonstop. Speaking of which, we do have a trip planned to Yellowstone this
Oh,
summer.
do you? Oh, good.
I'm hoping
That's
that we still,
awesome.
yeah, I'm hoping that we still get to go. We're doing that, and then we've got a camping trip planned.
Oh,
So
nice,
hopefully,
nice.
yeah. Oh, what am I drinking? I gotta show
Mhm.
you. I got
Mhm.
super fancy today and jumped on like the TikTok craze and made one of those
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
um DALGONA or something like that coffees. So you take it like that, and then you mix it all. And mine is like super full, so I hope I don't make a total
So
mess.
tell me about this because I am like seriously sad about my same old coffee every day.
Well, it's super easy. It kind of takes a long time though. So you and
We
at
have
first
time. We got nothing but time.
I know, right? I was like, I don't know if I'll like that because I don't really care for instant coffee, and you use instant coffee. But
Uh-huh.
you take 2 tablespoons for like this size, 2 tablespoons of instant coffee, and then the thing I watched on it, they used a whole tablespoon of sugar, but I don't like my coffee that sweet, so
Hmm.
I used a teaspoon of sugar and then 2 tablespoons of hot water, and then you put it in a bowl. I just used this this little bowl,
Uh-huh.
and you whip it for like 10 minutes. It's seriously like you whip it for a long time.
That's
And it's
awesome.
totally black, and then it gets this light caramely color. And you pour it over ice and water, or I guess you could do over hot milk too. I've only done it iced.
Uh-huh.
And it makes a really delightful drink.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So 2 tablespoons instant coffee?
Yeah, 2 tablespoons instant coffee.
And then a tablespoon of sugar.
Yep.
And then
2 tablespoons hot water.
And you whip it.
And then you just whip it like crazy. I have a frother, and so I use my little frother contraption, but you could use just like a hand mixer or whatever too. I guess if you wanted to do it by hand, you could, but it'd probably take you like an hour.
We should probably post that in our comments, because I'm gonna want to try that for sure. So
yeah, it's fun.
I think we got to get creative with our coffee skills. Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah, it my cute little mason jar.
I love it.
It's
really cute.
Yeah, and you got to do it in a glass mug too, because you got to see how cool it looks, right?
Right? Yeah, yeah. I love it. Cool. So let's talk about our week. How are things going for you?
So when I was thinking about it this week of the different things that I wanted to talk about today, can we talk about LinkedIn for a minute? Because holy freaking shit, I have been getting hundreds of LinkedIn requests and emails and schedule a time with me. Homie, I don't know you. I'm not going to schedule a time with you. I don't know what you do. I don't know who you are. Why would I take time out of my day to schedule a call with you so that you can sit on the phone and try and sell me for 30 minutes? Nah, I'm good. But
yeah, it's funny because you're not the first person I've heard that from. Like, I very rarely get onto LinkedIn because I just don't think about it. But I've been noticing, because they come to my email, so I've been noticing like that has increased exponentially. And you're not the first person to say that. Everybody's like, what is this? Like, downtime means LinkedIn? Like, I don't know.
It is. It's crazy. I kid you not. I've gotten throughout this whole time hundreds of them. And it's so annoying. And the newest thing that I've noticed is people will send me a picture of themselves with they'll be holding their laptop, and it will have a picture of them holding their laptop with my website up. So
like, you can believe that they really went there, or what?
I guess that is like the newest thing. I've gotten probably 10 or 12 people who have done that. And I'm like, the first one I saw, I was like, all right, like 10 points for creativity. I like that you're creative. I like that you actually took the time to go to my site and see, exactly what I do.
Yeah.
So I actually did reply to that first guy who did it. And then after I kept getting it, I'm like, whatever. I'm done.
That's so weird.
So I would love to know if people are actually taking the time to reply to all of them, because I used to. When I used to only get like 5 or 6 a day, I would reply to everyone, whether I was interested or not. I would just say, hey, thanks for reaching out. Not at this time, or whatever. But now I get so many. There's no way that I'm going to sit there and take 3 hours to reply to every single one.
Right.
So I'm like, people, calm down on the LinkedIn emails. Holy crap. It's ridiculous.
I wonder if they're just grasping at straws, just trying to figure out what to do. I've been like, over the past week, I've been just kind of watching people's responses to this global crisis. And it's really interesting. And I feel like maybe in another life, I probably would have been a psychologist or gone into psychology, because like, it's very fascinating to me. And in like working with my therapist on my own brain things, I'm just really into like the science behind like how the brain processes information and trauma. And I've noticed a few things, like I've seen pieces of people that I never would have expected. Right? Like, it kind of brings out the best in some of us and the worst in some of us. But I think it kind of goes back to that whole like strengths and weakness thing that we've talked about before, like how your strengths are your weaknesses, because like I've identified a few different like personalities and how people deal with trauma. There's the helpers, like I'm definitely in that category. And it's not to like, it is not to put myself on a pedestal at all. Like, that is just how I am programmed. I want to look for the need and help people so that I don't have to focus on myself. Like, it's not a great thing
Yeah.
to be.
Cool. And I use it as a distraction, because if I'm helping, then I'm not thinking about the crisis.
Exactly.
I'm helping people through. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah. And then there's the accusers. So
Oh,
I don't know if you've seen these, like, it's like every couple days, everybody has a new thing to like call people out for being stupid. Like this week, it's wearing gloves. Like, you guys are so stupid if you're wearing gloves because you're still spreading disease. And it's like, but are they though? Like,
and even if they are, who cares? It makes them feel better.
That's how they're dealing.
You?
That is how they're dealing. And for me, like, I actually wear gloves so I won't touch my face, because I am terrible.
And I've touched my face like 20 times during this.
Right? I know. I'm always like flipping my hair. And so for me, if I'm wearing gloves, every time I see that blue, I'm like, oh, don't touch your face. So
and I don't like the smell of the gloves, so I wouldn't put those near my face.
Exactly. And they feel gross on your face.
Yeah.
So I just, but then I have to take a step back, because my initial reaction is to be like, that's really rude. I can't believe you're just like finding little things to nitpick about. But then you take a step back and you're like, that's their coping mechanism. They don't have all the information, and it makes them feel like they don't have control. So they're going to find little bits of information and use that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how we each deal with this, like in our own way.
Yeah, it is. You know, people, I find that like the comments on social media right now are really, they're really aggressive. Like my cousin had posted something and it wasn't even, I mean, he had just asked, does anybody actually know anybody who has actually been diagnosed with COVID-19? And, you know, there were some comments that I just was like, really? Like, do you need to be that aggressive? And it were like, if people who I don't feel like would probably be that aggressive normally, but in these kind of uncertain times, they're, I mean, and I've noticed amplified. On several different posts that people are just really really aggressive. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's, I mean, and I'm definitely, I put myself into those categories too. Like on the helping side, I'm actually trying to hold back a little bit, because then there's this other thing that happens where people start feeling guilty because they're not doing anything, because they don't have the motivation and they don't feel, and you know what, like I want to say it's all okay. All of it is okay. Like we all need to be a little bit more patient with each other, and maybe where we see somebody's out there helping, we're like, cool, that's them, that's not me. Or if somebody's accusing and trying to make other people feel dumb, maybe that's just their way of trying to help, but they just, you know what I mean? And so it's
just how they process the traumas in an aggressive way. I mean,
we are all in survival mode right now. Like it is 100% survival mode. So it's really interesting to just like kind of observe that and see, you know, what's going on there. But so I think that one thing that we could offer people today is a tool that we use in our business, or that we've been using in our lives, because I think, you know, with the LinkedIn conversation, it kind of sparked this idea that, you know, maybe they're focusing on this LinkedIn because that is how they connect with people, right? That's how they communicate.
And it's an easy way to get to a lot of people.
Yeah, and they need to like keep their careers going. So what kind of tools have you been using, or that do you use in your daily business that you just cannot live without? Like what's your, I know there's like a zillion things, but let's try to narrow it down and give something people concrete that they can walk away with.
So one of the big ones that I use, so I use HubSpot, but I use it on a very small scale. However, right now they have opened up a bunch of their paid features for free. So I would highly recommend people check out HubSpot. And instead of it being $150 a month, they've lowered it to $50 a month for the next, I want to say 6 or 9 months, maybe even a year. I can't remember the time frame, but check that out. That's a really, they have tons of stuff. And if you're not even going to use their product, they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of PDFs of information, infographics, stuff like that, that are, I mean, they are absolutely worth your time to go through and look and see which ones of those are relevant to your business and what you can use, because they really do put a lot of thought into their well, obviously into their product, but even into their free PDFs. They do a really great job. So I would recommend to anybody who is looking to increase, you know, their business knowledge, start there, because they have so much stuff.
So
And
is
then
it
the
like an
other one,
educational resource, or like what
yep,
is
yeah.
HubSpot? Okay.
So HubSpot, they do tons of stuff. They have email marketing, they have a CRM.
Cool.
I personally use the CRM portion of it, but they have tons of, I mean, this program is so robust. I don't even know everything that it actually entails, because there's so much that goes into it.
Cool.
But then the other one that we've been using over the last couple of weeks is Doodly, and it's really it's really fun. So you see, so sometimes people will have those little 30-second commercials or videos of like a hand-drawn,
yeah,
whatever. That's what it does. So you can do like a whiteboard or a chalkboard or a glass board, anything like that, and you can make an information video or a funny video or whatever kind of video you want. So we've been doing those. I've done a couple. I've had my assistant do a couple, and then I even had my son jump on and he played around with it and made one on what he does in his daily routine for quarantine. And so that one's kind of fun. And I don't know, I think the whole program is like $100. It's not nice. It's not very expensive. So that's another one that's been fun that you can create videos with, and you don't have to do else.
For now, just for those of us who might, or out there who might not be familiar with what CRM is, can you explain that really quick? I want to kind of keep it like slimmed down, so that if somebody's just starting, they're like, what's a CRM?
So it's just it's basically what you put all of your customer data into. So when you call them, what interactions you have with them, if you email them, it's a way to keep track of your customer information. So if you're like a B2B and
what's a B2B?
Or a business to business, and you were prospecting, you would put all of your prospects into this, and then you could mark them if they were a hot lead, a cold lead, medium lead, whatever your system is of how you identify different prospects. You put it all in there, and then through like HubSpot, you can email them directly through HubSpot. You can send them promos. You can send them any like PDFs that you create. All that, it's all one spot. So when businesses are starting out, they usually will do it in something like Excel. This is a much I
can't imagine that. I think I probably did in the past, though. It sounds vaguely familiar. Maybe I've tried to erase that from my brain.
Yeah, I find that when I meet with a lot of clients for the first time, they just have everything in an Excel, which is fine, because then it actually makes it really easy to go and import your data into a CRM system. So if you are doing that, no worries. You've actually made it a lot easier for yourself. You don't have to go and re-enter the data. You can just upload it from that PDF into HubSpot or Zoho or Partner Dynamics, whatever you choose to use. Yeah.
Cool. So I think for me, I was going to kind of focus on CRM too, but I've always done it a little bit differently with my e-commerce, because the nice thing about my platform, using Shopify, which if you're thinking about doing products, I'm just going to tell you right now, do not go with anybody else. Just start with Shopify. Just do it. Okay. Just trust me on this one. It's amazing. It integrates with so many different apps. You can customize your site however you want it, and it's great to work with that. So that's my little plug. I'm speaking from experience. So I've always done it a little bit differently, because Shopify does have quite a bit of options as far as building your own CRM in there. But I've gone through like 3 different email platforms at this point. So I started with MailChimp because it's like the easiest, right? Everybody loves it. It's super. But then I started having problems with them, and Shopify actually dissolved their partnership with MailChimp. So I had to move on to something else. Well, I decided to go with the little guy. I'm all about the little guy, you guys, because I am a little guy. So I'm like, I want to support the little guy. Don't do it. It's like,
there's a reason why there. that guy?
Yeah, it was good. So, and I don't want to badmouth them because they have it's great software, but honestly, it was a little bit too advanced for me. And I wasn't getting the metrics I wanted, and I wasn't liking the feel. It was not as user-friendly as I wanted it to be. Because like for me, I can figure it out, but when I'm having to train my staff how to use it and I'm spending more time training them, it's
Then it
not
takes it,
really,
send it
yeah,
out.
it doesn't really work. So
He's perfect.
I switched to OmniSend a couple months ago.
OmniSend.
Oh my goodness, love it. It's like if MailChimp was on steroids. So it works really well. And we've already seen quite a big increase in our engagement just from switching.
And why
So
do you think that is though? Because
yeah, and
the
that's
user has no idea whether it's MailChimp or OmniSend. So
yes.
why do you think your open rates are higher with OmniSend versus MailChimp?
Honestly, I think that there's one of two things happening. I think that the analytics that I would with the platform I was using before were not great. So maybe my open rates were higher, but I didn't know. And it actually was every time I went into my automations were not working. Now automations, for anybody who wants to know, are the coolest thing that you could ever do for your business. It's like putting your marketing on auto. So it's great because you can build out sales funnels that kind of help introduce your brand and your product to your new customers or to your prospects. You can really, the options are endless. And so I rely pretty heavily on my automations, and they just weren't working. Every time I went in to review them on the other platform, they were getting like stuck, like they were backlogged. Like I had to go in and manually approve them, which I was like, that's not how automation is supposed to work. So I think, and so I switched to that in May of last year, and I just switched to OmniSend a couple months ago. Oh my gosh, like I think it really hurt my business because I was doing great with my one-off campaigns, but my automations just weren't. It's just like that background that you don't think about, and they just weren't performing, and now they are. And so
you do 100% all of your email through Omni, and all of your automations, all of just everything all goes through there.
I have some stuff. There's an app that I have on Shopify called Marcello. It's a loyalty program.
Oh, yeah.
So I do, so it's like a rewards program for our customers. And so some of it goes through there, but the majority of it is through OmniSend. I really like having everything in one place. And it's been really great, especially during this time where we're selling the hand sanitizer, because I can do text alerts, and those are so seamless and so great. And it's interesting because I've actually kind of played with it a little bit because we sell out every day, and I've been trying to figure out ways to slow that down, right? So I have the email list and I have the text list. The majority of people that are on it are on both lists. And so where I was sending out the text first, I've actually switched it this week. So I'm sending out the emails first and then waiting about 10 minutes and then sending the text alerts.
Because the text is much quicker.
So much faster. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this could be really useful for future promotions. Because they have a much higher. So that's kind of cool.
It's omni-channel?
OmniSend.
OmniSend.
So we'll post everything we talk about in this video. We'll make sure to post the links below so that you guys can check it out too.
I think I'm going to check it out because I use MailChimp.
Definitely get on OmniSend. It is great. The only thing that MailChimp does that OmniSend doesn't, and I really wish they would, is they don't do an RSS feed, which I love that, because every time and an RSS feed, just basically what it does is whenever you post a new blog post or content on your website, it'll automatically send out an email to your following. So that I'm not getting, and that I miss. So but yeah, I think that, every platform's always evolving and changing. So
yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me if they implemented that in the next 4 to 6 months. Something like that. So okay.
Yeah. And you can, the other cool thing, and you'll like this too, in OmniSend, you can actually go in and set your branding. So all of your fonts, colors, how you want your emails to look, and then you just apply that and it's done.
Because having a marketing background, branding, It drives me absolutely insane when I see companies who, like, blue is their color and they have like 8 million shades of blue. It's crazy
Yeah.
how many shades of blue there actually are.
There are so many. And I didn't actually get my branding nailed down until I started using Canva. So maybe I'll highlight that
True.
as the other cool tool that we use. And that one is great because it's so user friendly. I've got my yoga managers using it. I have my event hippie.
Yes, super easy.
It's really easy and really user friendly.
Yeah, and it's a desktop and they have a
Yeah.
mobile app, so you can use it
Yeah.
either way. Their mobile app is kind of frustrating sometimes.
I don't really use the mobile. I don't love it.
Yeah. I mean, I do use it when I have to.
Yeah.
But their desktop is seamless, man.
It's really great.
Yeah, it's worth it, what, $12.95 a month?
Yeah, I think I pay, it's like $100 for the year. So yeah. And I really like it because a lot of times, like, what I use the app for is I'll design everything on the computer and then I just download it to my phone so that I can post it on Instagram. So it's really easy to use. So for those of you who we're talking about a design platform for you to make graphics or like
all
ads,
your social media posts.
Yeah, anything like that. So it really has helped me define my brand imaging, and I've got all my logos in there. I can watermark them. I've got like my different fonts that I use. And so I feel like it's really upped our branding because I've even gone back through my website and designed a bunch of things in Canva that are now on my website so that everything looks the same. And I think that that's really the trick to branding, isn't it? Like, you want it to be
everything consistent. If you do not have a company branding guide, you need to get one today. I can't even tell you how useful they are. It will have your colors in your Pantones, and so that your colors are exact all the time. And you have to remember that there's RGB and then there's the CMKY version. I mix those 4 letters up, but they are those 4 letters. I'm just not sure which order. But so there's two different ways you can go with those. You want to make sure that you have both and you have them as close as possible. And then all of your fonts, your logo and how to use it and where to place it, and all of that. It should be in your branding guide. And then even in the ones that I create, it even goes down to like the social media icons that you use. We're very distinct when we create a branding guide for a client, so that everything is always consistent.
And the same goes for your ads too. That's actually something that I learned recently, just through my own research in how to increase conversions, because that's the thing we're always after, is that, like, when you're creating ads, you want the ad to look very similar to where you're directing them. So you want your landing page to reflect the content that you are having in your ad. I think that's something that I've personally messed up on a lot over the years, because I'm like, oh, here's this thing, go to our website, and it doesn't look the same. So yeah, just some fun little tools for you guys. But cool. Well, shall we wrap it up for today? And then if you guys have any questions, or if there's anything you want us to talk about, go ahead and just drop us a comment below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can always get this content coming to your inbox.
Coming in hot.
Yes. So yeah, we'll wrap it up today. So caffeinate, hydrate.
Oh, and green. Well, I thought this was my water. It's my green smoothie. But either.
And eat your vegetables.
Or drink them, in my case.
Yeah, however they get in there, just focus on veggies, for sure. All right, have a good week, everybody. Hey, see ya.